Hello and welcome to this week's very special edition of the Side Splitters. My name is Lyle.
And I am Count Andy. Bleh.
And our goal tonight is to leave you in stitches. Yeah.
Appropriate considering, it's Halloween week.
Yeah. So because of that, me and Andy are doing a special show this week. It's the Halloween edition of the Side Splitters. And instead of just splitting your sides with laughter, we are going to be splitting your sides with very, very sharp objects. Or maybe drinking some brews that will make us turn into ravaging beasts that will just allow us to split your sides with our bare hands, and it's gonna be a fun time. So, without
Ooh, lycanthropy.
without further ado, we're going to just jump right into the football thing because
Yeah, get that out of the way, because the only thing scarier than ghosts and goblins is my ability to remain on top as far as football picks go.
or the eventual unfortunate demise of the streak.
Oh, don't say it.
So let's get right into the football thing. Yeah, what more appropriate time for this to happen? Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a travesty. We had Jess last week. She was our fan of the week, and she decided to go up against Andy, and we're gonna get right into it. Saints and Chiefs. Saints for Jess. Saints for Andy. Chiefs for Mr. Wickersham, who was the expert that Andy insisted on going against.
Wickersham.
The Chiefs won that game. Okay.
Aw.
Okay. So the Packers played the Bears. The Bears lost. Packers won. All of you picked the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Giants and Rams. This game was in London. Um, the Giants were picked by Jess and Wickersham. The Rams were picked by Andy. I just want to point out that there is a capital L next to Andy's name for that one because the Giants, in fact, beat the Rams. I'm not going to say they whooped them because they certainly didn't, but they beat them, and I just wanted to point that out real quick. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, fanboy.
Titans and Colts. Jess picked the Titans. Andy and Wickersham picked the Colts. The Colts won. Vikings and Eagles. All three of you picked the Vikings, and somehow the Eagles won. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Speaking of not getting me started, Bengals and Browns. All three of you picked the editing magic Bengals, and the Bengals won. Uh, Redskins and Lions. Jess picked the Redskins. You and Wicker picked the Lions. The Lions won. We're gonna call them the Wicks. Um, Raiders and Jaguars. You and Jess picked the Raiders. Wicks picked the Jags. The Raiders won. Dolphins and Bills. All three of you picked the Dolphins. The Dolphins won. I said the Bills would win that one. They clearly did not. This is why I don't play.
Ah,
Ravens. The Ravens played the Jets.
okay.
Um, all three of you picked the Ravens. Ravens lost. Uh,
Oh.
49ers and Buccaneers. All three of you picked the 49ers. The 49ers lost.
Ooh.
The
All right.
Falcons and Chargers. All three of you picked the Falcons. The Falcons lost
Huh.
in overtime. That was one killer game. Patriots and Steelers. You and Jess picked the Patriots. The Wicks picked the Steelers. The Patriots won. Seahawks and Cardinals. Jess and Wickersham picked the Seahawks. Andy picked the Cardinals. And here's the game, ladies and gentlemen, that would have changed things. Because the Cardinals should have won this game. And the Seahawks didn't win neither. They tied. And I'm not sure if you knew that can happen or not in football.
I actually did not.
Funny enough, any Eagles fan or fan of hating the Eagles will be able to remember this and either love the story or hate the story. There was a couple years back that the Eagles tied, and the reason was because, and I quote Donovan McNabb at the end of the game. It was a post game interview. He was the quarterback for the Eagles. Post game interview with Donovan McNabb. They asked him, "How come you didn't show a sense of urgency when the final seconds were ticking down in the overtime quarter? Um, weren't you afraid that you would get a tie?" And he says, and I'm probably paraphrasing, but I'm going to try my best to remember the quote. I didn't know that was a thing.
Wow.
He's paid millions of dollars, legit did not know the rules of the game. Moving on. So,
Oh my
last game
god.
was Broncos and Texans. Jess and Wicks picked the Broncos, Andy picked the Texans, and the Broncos won devastatingly. That's a word. It was
Yeah, no, that's
devastating.
totally a word.
It was devastating to see the Texans go down because I really wanted Andy to win because that would have at least tied him with Wickersham. But in fact, Wickersham beat him by one game, and Andy
Ah,
beat Jess by one game. So it was fun. Um, I did look into things and seen that Eric from Countdown to Geektown won their pick'em pool thing. They do one every week too. Copycats. Anyway, they do one every week too, and Eric finally won. He had the same issue. Well, not finally. He won 2 weeks in a row, I think. But anyway, he has a similar issue where Jesse does not know as much about football as he does, as opposed to me knowing about football and you knowing nothing. But
right.
he won, and he I think tied with you. So there you go. If that's any consolation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it wasn't like I horribly lost. It was one game that
It
should have
was
been mine anyway.
it was one game. It was a tie, which was a weird week, and it's the week of Halloween. Scary things happen. These things happen. But let's go ahead and get you prepared for next week. This way we can just move right past this and get into the Halloween extraordinaire.
Strolling out, lightning flash. Boo!
Don't think I won't put them in here. I'll put them in here, motherfucker. I'm going to put some effects into this episode. You watch. As soon as all this NFL shit done, as soon as it ends, there's no more funny Lyle. There is serious Lyle. And there's going to be effects. There's going to be lightning crashes. There's going to be creepy music and doors slamming, all kind of crazy shit. Anyway.
And clown laughs.
That might be in there. That's a good idea. Week 1, Andy. Or week 8.
8, yeah.
Game 1. Thursday night game. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans. Who you got?
Okay, so cats are really annoying when there's a lot of them and they start climbing all over you. So, as big as the Titans might be, I think that just being swarmed with Jaguars clawing at their calves and Achilles tendons will get really annoying really quickly. So I'm going to say the Jaguars on that one.
Jaguars. That was surprisingly quick. Okay. Washington Redskins at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, much like their problem with the Lions, they were not ready to handle the large cats because it's not something that Redskins normally have to deal with. The occasional woolly cow and bird aside, they don't really know what to do with a large predatory animal. So I'm going to say that it's going to happen the same way it did when they went against the Lions. They're going to lose to the large cat. So the Bengals.
The woolly cow?
Yeah, the Buffalo.
Oh, of course. Yes. So Lions for that game, you said.
The Bengals, yeah.
Bengals, same thing. Yeah, I'm the football pro here. I think that game's in London too. I'm not 100% sure. It just says 9:30 a.m., so I'm going to assume that's in London.
Well, see, there you go. Redskins don't even know what London is.
Fair enough. The Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers.
Black or red?
Not again.
No, well, I'm not going off of colors. I love that color combination for some reason. Okay, so if you're having the Cardinals against the Panthers, no, Cardinals wouldn't attack Panthers unless they had a reason, but Panthers definitely are territorial. No, it's just more like the Sylvester and Tweety thing, and Cardinals are definitely nowhere near as smart as a canary. So I'm actually going to say that there's in a straight up fight, Panthers will always beat Cardinals.
Panthers.
Yes.
Okay. That is like way somewhere I didn't think it would be. Not your guess. The location of. Don't worry about it. Next game. Let's see here. Did I fuck up? What is going on here? Like.
Maybe.
We have the. Oh, here we are. Houston Texans. Sorry, folks. Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Texans and Chiefs. Yeah, the only authority that Texans really recognize are sheriffs. So Chiefs really wouldn't do too much. It depends on what kind of Chiefs it is. No, I'm gonna say that as persistent as the Chiefs would be, I don't think they're gonna have enough backup to deal with the Texans. I'm gonna say the Texans on that one.
I'm sorry, Andy. I was 100% wrong.
What?
Yeah, I had to switch the website I was using there. I'm an idiot. It's actually the Kansas City Chiefs at the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, well, that's much different.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So problem with Colts is that they usually have a very subservient role when dealing with Chiefs. Especially if it's now in this particular matchup, I see the Chiefs being more akin to Redskins. Like they're actually like big head honchos, rain dancers, all that sort of thing. Which case they always are on horseback in the westerns. So I'm going to say that they have dominion over the Colts. The Chiefs are going to win that one.
I have done this to myself. Okay, so the Chiefs. Next up, we have the Oakland Raiders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
While their lifestyle choices are very similar, if not too many people end up raiding a Buccaneer camp. Like, usually they're the ones that do the raiding. And, well, I think there's something to be said about catching them off guard. I don't think they'll go down quietly. Plus, you have to go through a lot of hoops to even get there in the first place. They will know you're coming. I'm going to say the Buccaneers in that game.
So you said the Buccaneers are more known for raiding than the Raiders are.
No, they're both known for it. It's just that if you are going into Buccaneer territory, they're going to be more aware of your presence than the other way around because Buccaneers usually live out in coves. You have to actually travel by sea to get there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry I asked. Next game, Seattle Seahawks at the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, Saints is actually the team that keeps throwing me off because there are times where I think that New Orleans Saints, which still for the life of me sounds like an oxymoron, there are times where I think they should do good and other times I think they would do horribly and they keep just doing the opposite every friggin' time. So, my gut on this one tells me that in a confrontation between the Seahawks and the Saints, that the Saints would get pecked to death and then lie bleeding in the street. So I'm going to go against those instincts and say that the Saints are going to be protected by their righteous cause and not go down pecking. So I'm going to say the Saints on that game.
What if they went down pecking in the streets and then had Mardi Gras beads thrown on them?
Actually, yeah, the birds would choke on the Mardi Gras beads.
Oh, there you go. Glad I could help. Anyway, next up we have the Detroit Lions at the Houston Texans.
Lions at the Texans. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, I think we broke them.
For some reason, I thought we already went through the Texans.
We did. It was my mistake with the Chiefs. Remember?
Right. Okay, yeah.
That was my bad.
So, yeah. So the Great Plains of Texas are not unlike the natural environment that the lion finds himself in. So I think he would be very akin to home, even if he is visiting the Texans. So home advantage would not really play a factor here. Lions are still kind of familiar with the territory. I'm going to say that the Lions over the Texans.
The Lions over the Texans.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. Next up we have, and before I get into this, I actually want to bring something up here. Because the next game is the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Now, I went ahead and did a little bit of research for you, Andy. So nothing would be confusingly edited out again.
Okay.
There is some debate about whether Cleveland's professional football franchise was named after its first coach and general manager, Paul Brown, or after boxer Joe Louis, who was nicknamed the Brown Bomber.
Okay.
Because apparently the team owner, Mickey McBride, conducted a fan contest in 1945, and the most popular submission was, in fact, the Browns. They were the Browns before that, because the origin of the name, I believe, came from Paul Brown, who was the first coach and first general manager. And they were like, you know what, this is my team. You know, when you're the general manager, you get to decide who is on your team and everything. And obviously, when you're the head coach, you are the head of that team, making all the calls and what have you, and teaching the team discipline and what have you. So this is your team, essentially. So, you know, what better name to call it than the Browns? You are Brown, therefore these are my Browns.
Okay.
And that was like probably in the 30s or 20s, and back then it was just like, yeah, whatever, that's not a bad thing, you know. And then they underwent a name thing, contest, and people still said, we're going to leave it the Browns. Here's the thing about it, though. They have been known to be called. First of all, there at one point was a bit of a mascot with them, the Brownie Elf.
Okay.
Which is basically just. Matter of fact, I can probably show this to you real quick. Here we are. This is the Brownie Elf.
Okay.
Let's just get rid of that.
I have played Dungeons and Dragons. I'm aware of what a brownie is.
Okay,
I've also seen Willow.
Not trying to, whatever. They did move to Baltimore, and kind of became the Baltimore Ravens, and then they pretty much put the franchise on hold. And when they did that, they said, we're going to move the team to Baltimore. But we're going to come back a couple years later, so don't touch our name, don't touch anything about it. We're going to come back to Cleveland Browns. We just want to rebuild a stadium in the meantime. So in the meantime, take the franchise we have now, move it to Baltimore, call it whatever you want. Someone else can buy it, it's fine, but we're coming back in like 6 years. So that's what they did, and they came back to Cleveland Browns again. With the stadium that left, there was a section in it called the Dog Pound. I don't know why. I don't really have information on that.
Was Michael Vick ever a member?
No.
Oh.
This was named such long before Michael Vick was ever even thought of. So that was the section, was the Dog Pound. It was very diehard fans that were in this section, and they would dress up like bulldogs or wearing dog paraphernalia, like they would actually have a bone around their neck or a dog bowl or something like that. So that kind of became a like secondary mascot thing. And then obviously when they made a new stadium, they made sure to include a Dog Pound section as well. So if it helps at all, the best thing I can give you in terms of a mascot is in fact a bulldog.
Okay.
There's several different Dog Pound things.
Really, they're going to spell it with a W?
Yes, that was how it was originally spelled. So that's them. So we have the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Who you got?
All right. Well, thanks to that clarification, I now know that the Browns are elves. So
perfect.
Given that option, I am reminded of the Looney Tunes cartoon where the gremlin from the Kremlin would dismantle the jet that Bugs Bunny was flying piece by piece before it finally crashed to the ground, which is the same image that I'm getting in this particular confrontation. So I am actually going to say that the Browns are going to win this one.
Okay. Next up we have, and that is my fault, I took way too long on it. Next up we have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills.
Patriots versus the Bills. These teams already fight?
They did. Actually, we are about halfway through the season. We're getting halfway through the season. And you're going to notice a couple of teams that already fought, as you call it. The thing is they are in the same division. Every division has 4 teams in it, and those 4 teams will play each other twice in a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is the second time they're going against each other. Like the first one, New England was home. This time, Buffalo is home. The first one, Buffalo won.
No, I'm pretty sure the Patriots won, didn't they?
No.
No, they didn't.
That was like, I think that was the only game the Patriots lost.
Yeah. Okay. No, I do remember that. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. There was a second one too, but I think it doesn't matter. Anyway, the Buffalo Bills beat them before in New England. Now they are in Buffalo. What is going to happen?
Okay. So, this is where I think that actually this is a coming of age story of revenge. Because beforehand I said that the Patriots should have won that game because Americana and everything like that. Buffalo Bills represents the past. We tend to bury the past and move on, make ourselves bigger, better, with like just glimpsing in back at it every once in a while. And while the Bills did not want to go down for the fight, they refused to be forgotten. Eventually, time makes fools of us all, and that includes the Buffalo Bills. So I think the Pats coming into their territory is going to be like, look, you are going to be buried and forgotten, and we are going to do the digging. So I'm going to say the Patriots are going to win that one.
Patriots. I just want to point out that you were one of very few people that said the Bills would win the first time around.
Yeah.
So there you go. Next up, we have the San Diego Chargers at the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Chargers and Broncos. Last time, the Chargers won this one.
Correct.
Yeah, which surprised the hell out of me because I thought between the two, the Broncos would definitely put a lot more horsepower behind their Chargers, their charging than the Chargers could.
Yeah.
Which, considering that the Broncos did beat up the Texans as well, yeah, I think that between if this is going to be another repeat game against these two, that the Broncos are starting to get a head of steam back, and I think that momentum is going to carry them to overcome the Raiders this time. So I'm not going to give up on my horses here. I'm going to say the Broncos over the Chargers.
The Broncos. That was starting to get a little lengthy. Okay. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Green Bay Packers against the Falcons. Okay, so the first thing I'm thinking of is taxidermy for some reason. Which case, a nice, taxidermized falcon looks very good on a mantle. And we are getting into the holiday season, the gift-giving season. Packers are probably looking for something to gift to their significant others. What better thing to do than have, a nice falcon with a Santa Claus hat stuffing presents under a tree? So I'm actually going to say the Packers are going to win that one.
All right. Packers it is. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. So I may not be a football fan or know very much about the sport, but I do know that these two teams go at it like water and cats.
Yeah.
So that is not lost on me. So in my in-depth analysis,
oh Lord, please take your time on this one. I want to hear it all.
Okay, so Cowboys don't necessarily ever deal with Eagles on a regular basis. Eagles are in the sky. Cowboys have, poop-laden pastures that they kind of tend over. And the eagle every once in a while will then crap on the cowboy hat, and they'll never know it because they're so damn big and already white. So for the most part, they just kind of the cowboy will shout at the sky, shaking his fist, going, "Damn you, eagle!" And the eagle will just go, "Ah!" and then poop on it.
Right.
So that's been their relationship up to this point. The Cowboys wishing that they had the ability to actually interact with the Eagles in any way, shape, or form, and I really don't think that that's going to change even in these storied games of football. I am actually going to say that the Eagles are going to win this one, and it's not for any kind of fandom. It's just that's the way it is. The Eagles have the air advantage. Cowboys are used to dealing with non-woolly cows. They're more worried about moving around dumb animals in large quantities from point A to point B. They really don't have any kind of contingency plan to deal with a flying bird.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So the Eagles. Gotcha. Fascinating. And finally, last but not least, we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears.
Vikings and the Bears. Now, see, because this matchup, the Bears have already been packed away for the winner by the Packers.
Right.
And, Vikings, for the most part, like, the majority of their skins that they wear are made from bears.
But let's not forget, the Vikings were not able to eat the hearts of the Eagles and get their power.
That is very true. So while they do not have the powers of the eagle, they still have the powers of the Viking, which is more than enough to take care of a bear.
Or whatever it was you said last week.
Yeah, or, raiding, because I didn't know how much they damaged the environment that they pillaged in, but, as Eagles show, they are territorial enough to repel the Vikings from climbing their tall trees. So, but Bears are a pushover for Vikings. I honestly think the Vikings have this one in the bag.
Uh-huh.
They might even make a bag out of it.
Okay. So that's Andy's picks this week. And just to let everyone know, we already predetermined a expert, so we can kind of move along here a little quicker. Andy decided to go with the gentleman by the name of Golic.
Golic.
G-O-L-I-C.
Yeah, he sounds like you're choking on something. Golic. Gollum's retarded cousin.
Oh my god.
Gawk! Gawk!
You mean that midget from that terrible movie?
It's a fantastic movie. I will not have you backsassed it.
Don't get me started. Anyway.
It's a 9-hour wonderful masterpiece.
It's 9 hours. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking for get that.
Subsequently followed by a romance story between a woman and her ape.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Football out of the way. That's taken care of. Next week is taken care of.
Now we get into the good stuff.
From now on, it is serious business for me. Cue the music and the thunder claps. Alright. So, we have some fun stuff set up here. Hopefully, we can get some spooks out of you. Me and Andy are going to go over conspiracy theories. We're going to go over horror movies. And even some little tidbit horror stories to tell. Written by some fascinating people. It's going to be fun. It's going to be chilling, hopefully.
Hopefully.
People here. But most of all, I think it's going to be enjoyable and very much Halloweenish. So without further ado, let's get into it. What would you like to do first?
Let's go with the movies.
The movies. This is exciting. So, Andy proposed an idea to me a little while back. We've been planning this Halloween episode for some time now because both me and Andy are fans of the holiday. Yeah, and we came up with the idea of let's do a game where do we even have a name for the game? We don't really need one, I guess.
No, I guess we don't. Killer plots?
Sure. I got one. Plot holes.
Plot holes, because I was gonna say plot device, but yeah, no, I like plot holes.
The idea of the game is, one of us will tell the other one the plot of a movie, and the opposing person has to determine whether or not that movie exists, or if it's just something that person made up. So, Andy, would you like to do the honors and go first in your own game?
I would love to. Okay. So, picture this. You have a movie whose premise revolves around a sentient, animate tire that goes around terrorizing a town, blowing up people and animals with psychic powers.
Is that the whole thing?
That is the entire movie.
Alright. Here's my analysis on that.
Okay.
This is something that is completely ridiculous to both be made up by you and be made into a horror movie. So, with that said, it's kind of a coin flip, but I'm actually going to say that you're giving me a real one to start with.
I am, in fact, giving you a real one.
What's the title of the movie?
The title of the movie is Rubber.
Of course it is.
Yes, it is about a tire. I don't know why, they never explain it, but they show a panning picture of a tire in the desert, and it brings itself out of the ground. You know, it doesn't have the middle or anything. It's just literally the rubber part of the tire. Rises out of the ground, shakes the dirt off itself, rolls through the desert, blowing up herds with its quote-unquote psychic powers,
right,
until it comes across a populated town, in which case it literally explodes everybody it comes across.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess that makes it my turn.
Yep.
So 1-0 me. Actually, we can't keep score because I think you have more than I do. But
it's a good possibility.
Unless whatever, we can always even them out. But anyway, so here's my first one. And I'll even give you a title. See, I am more than willing to give titles with mine. As a matter of fact, I propose that I have to give you my titles. You don't have to give me your titles, but I certainly have to give you mine for reasons.
I will not give you any of my titles.
Okay, well, I'm giving you all my titles for reasons.
Okay.
This one, the plot is unkempt penny pincher stumbles upon a deal of a lifetime for great shoes. Turns out shoes are symbiotic and live off of poor hygiene and make him murder while he's sleeping. And this movie is called Murders Afoot.
I am gonna say that is made up. That has gotta be made up. Damn
good though, isn't it?
I I do like the addition of the title. That does add something to it.
Right?
Murder is afoot. Although I would not put it past them to make a movie about killer shoes.
Well, it's not killer shoes. The shoes are just symbiotic and live off of poor hygiene.
Yeah, that's kind of like saying that somebody's hairpiece is compelling him to murder people, and it's called Hell to Pay.
Oh, I'm sure it's out there.
It's actually a Simpsons episode.
Of course it is.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah. 1-1, your go.
Okay. So, due to a chemical runoff into a local stream, the chemicals have converted the local beaver population to undead, and have started killing campers in the local state forest and spreading a zombie virus that is slowly killing the entire town and the surrounding area.
I thought these were going to be difficult. I have Netflix, you know. That is Zombieverse, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is Zombieverse.
100% a real movie. I've not seen it. I'm sure you have.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast. Alright, so that makes it pick up 2-1. Alright, this is a short plot, but it works. The movie is called Society, and the plot is an ordinary teenage boy discovers his family is part of a gruesome orgy cult for the social elite.
Huh, I am actually going to say that one's real.
You are 100% right.
Yeah, it sounds believable enough. I could actually see that happening. It almost kind of reminds me of like that part of Hot Fuzz.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually from the 80s, 1989.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it says 1989, but it says apparently it came out in the USA in 92. I don't know what it came out, where it came out before then.
Honestly, it might have been like an English movie, or like the
Yeah,
UK.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's very much a possibility. Yeah. All right. Well, you go.
Okay. A vengeful spirit from the colonial days actually inhabits a house that a family moved into, and its sole purpose is to prepare one of them to be possessed. That way it can get vengeance on a family that eventually, that did it wrong back in the time when it was alive.
The original soul didn't get vengeance on the family, and this is why he's trying to teach.
Because it's stuck in that plot of land. The only way it can leave is with a physical body.
I see.
And it's not a desirable house. Like, it's not even like, like top of the mill or anything like that. Like, people would have to actually settle for living in this place. That's why it hasn't had the opportunity.
I see. I'm going to go ahead and say this one's a fake one.
That would, in fact, be a fake one.
Okay.
Would not be out of the realm of possibility, though.
You know, when I was trying to come up with some of these, I've decided nothing would be out of the realm of possibilities with horror movies.
I know, right?
It's like some of them were, some of the ones that I actually were thinking about coming up with, and then some of the ones that I actually have found, I was like, there's going to be a line that has to be, that has to be crossed with this one, because is this a horror movie or is this a porno, plot? Because...
Oh, yeah, I've actually got two of those.
Oh, good. Well, it's my turn.
Okay, fair enough.
So, this one, there's a tagline also.
Okay.
I'm gonna read you the plot, and then the title, and then the tagline, in that order.
Okay.
The plot is: a group of teenagers get drunk and abuse a hapless refrigerator. The machine then goes on a killing rampage, eating the ones who beat him up. The name of the movie is Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, and the tagline is, "Oh no, I just hate cold cuts.
Oh man, if only people could see the epic hand palm. Just the face palm would be just sitting here going, oh god, that is terrible.
That one real or made up, man?
It sounds like a trauma film. But I'm actually going to say that it's made up.
That is a real film.
No.
100% real, 1990. It's got a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh my god.
That is one I would like to watch with you.
No, I'm down for that. I totally am. Right after the Bunny Man Massacre.
So there you go. He's attacking a killer refrigerator. I picked that one because I was like, he's going to immediately think I came up with this based off of the idea of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, yeah.
It's a weak title. It really is. It's a weak title.
Absolutely.
It's a weak premise.
Absolutely. I don't do weak titles. I don't do weak titles.
Oh my god. Alright. Okay. Oh, I got another one.
Alright.
Alright. So, a woman is haunted by the spirit of her dead twin who she ate in the womb, who is trying to use her body to be born into the world.
Huh. I'm gonna say that one's made up.
That is actually a real movie.
Ooh. I was like, this one sounds good, and I think it's made up.
Yeah, that one is called The Unborn.
Alright.
And for some reason, a woman, the ghost manifests itself as the image of like an 8-year-old boy, even though the boy never made it past the fetal stage.
Huh.
Yeah, she ate her twin in the womb, and the ghost of the twin, who wasn't even anything better than a fetus, because, I mean, do ghosts have time limits? Is there a point where you actually are old enough to have a ghost? Otherwise, we'd have floating zygotes everywhere.
Yeah, huh.
Yeah, like, my house would probably be filled with 15 miscarriage ghosts alone.
Neat. Alright, shall I get into mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This one is the plot is, after being told his house was not fit for the amount of cats he took care of, Ryan Grass takes his mother's sewing lessons to a whole new level. And the title is The Kitten Stitcher.
That has gotta be fake. That has gotta be fake.
Come on, tell me that's not good though.
The Kitten Stitcher.
I'll give you bonus points if you can figure out where I came up with the premise for that one.
Ooh, I'm gonna say it's not based off of a DC Comics book character, is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it based off the Dog Welder?
It's definitely based on the Dog Welder.
Oh, bonus points.
Come on, can you imagine some dude that is so creepy that he has too many cats in his house? You know, those guys. Let's be honest. Crazy cat ladies are one thing, but crazy cat men, whole another level. And then, you know, obviously he has some sort of special relationship with his mother, to where she taught him sewing. master sewing. And now he takes his revenge because he can't keep that many cats in his house by going around stitching kittens to people.
Weird.
That's a blockbuster one if I ever heard.
We should start a Kickstarter.
Yeah. Hashtag Kitchen Stitcher.
Kitten Stitcher, coming at you.
Yeah.
Well, I know what my Halloween costume is. Alright.
Here you go.
I got another one for you. Alright. So, Satan himself makes a videotape of a cartoon that if you play it in your house, will have the cartoon characters come to life and murder the occupants of the house.
That's fake.
Legitimately true.
No.
Yes. Yeah, the
Did you
name
come
of the
up with
movie.
any of these?
I did. That's why I said I had like 8 or 10 of them. The name of the movie is called Terror Toons.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, the visual effects for it are also pretty bad and actually chilling. Like they have a lot of practical effects for like costuming and stuff like that. That the unnatural way that the person moves in the costume kind of gives it that cartoon vibe, but at the same token, it's like real stuff.
All right.
Weird.
Certainly sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Oh, is it my turn already?
Yes, it is.
All right. This one is a biker comes upon a girl with a flat tire and offers her a ride home. He winds up at a drug party with the girl's sister, then follows her to a turkey farm owned by her father, who is a mad scientist. The father turns the biker into a giant turkey monster who goes after drug dealers. This movie is called Blood Freak. Is it real or is it fake?
Okay, I was originally going to say that it was fake, but I'm leaning more towards real on this one.
Is that your answer, real?
It's real.
What would make you say that?
Okay, so um it was one of those things where like I'm pretty sure I have heard of a movie with a killer turkey, but I could never remember the title. So I'm like, I kind of remember there being a killer turkey movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with there being a real.
It is 100% real. And I just want to throw out there that this was actually recommended to me because I was telling a coworker about this, and I said, "Do you know of any obscure, weird horror movies?"
Mm.
And she goes, "Oh yeah, Blood Freak." Well, actually, I believe she texted a friend of hers, and he told her, "Oh, definitely Blood Freak. Blood Freak. Do you remember the movie with the giant, turkey?" And she just came out there and she was like, "There's this movie with this giant chicken monster that goes around killing things." I'm like, "Oh my god, yes, 100% yes." She gave me the name of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah." Apparently, it is, if I'm not mistaken, it's rated X,
No.
but it's from 1972, so there is that.
Oh,
Uh,
there's gonna be lots of titties in that movie.
yeah. It has a 3.6 out of 10, with over 1,000 votes on that. So, yeah.
Damn. I gotta watch that.
It's called Blood Freak.
Blood Freak.
Yeah.
Ooh, jotting that down. Okay. I got another one if you're not too bored of this.
I am done with mine, so the rest is up to you.
Okay. Scientists uncover in a dig site a fossil to a prehistoric insect that they use technology to clone, and then it gets out of the lab and starts converting people one by one into a symbiotic hive mind until it is eventually stopped by the hero scientists.
Okay, this is a tricky one because I believe this was the original plot for Jurassic Park, and they scrapped it. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it is not a real movie.
Damn, no, it is not a real movie. But it so totally could be.
Like I said, the original plot for Jurassic Park.
All right. Well, then, if I didn't get you with that one, then I might get you with this one.
Thundercrap. Clap. Not Thundercrap.
Thundercrap. Thundercrap Argo.
Thundercrap. 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 Oh.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh, man. All right. Mankind is exploring
hold on, real quick. Did you have a title for that last one?
Oh, no. No, I didn't.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Mankind is exploring.
Mankind is exploring planets beyond our own. We eventually come upon a planet, and when people go down to colonize it, find that it is inhabited by undead aliens of the previous civilization that they have to fight off from getting onto the colony ship.
That's real.
That is entirely fake.
Really?
Yes.
That one needs to be made.
Because I like the idea of combining, zombies are so overplayed right now, but what if they were alien zombies?
Oh my god. Alright, folks. I was at Andy's house not too long ago, and he told me that same idea, and for some reason it didn't stick with me until he just said that. And now I'm just like, oh, you just told me about this idea like only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
You got any more?
Yeah.
Jesus. The hits keep coming.
Yeah. I got one left actually, and then
right.
we can move on.
All right, go ahead.
So an amorphous substance crash lands to Earth inside a meteorite. When it is found, the finder starts to mass produce it and sell it as an over-the-counter sweet treat that is going into people's homes, and when ingested, converts them over to subservient beings.
Subservient to who?
The amorphous sentient blob from outer space.
Right. I don't know, Andy. I'm gonna say this one's made up.
Sadly, that one is real. Movie is called The Stuff.
Of course it is.
And it is like Marshmallow Fluff if Marshmallow Fluff came from outer space.
Which it does.
Which it does, naturally. But yeah, it crash lands on Earth, somebody finds it. Naturally what anybody does when they find something new, they taste it.
Taste it.
And it takes over his mind and body, and then it incubates and multiplies itself and uses the person to make a product that they sell in supermarkets. That way other people eat it and then become ooze zombie slaves.
And then that person's name was Willy Wonka, and that product was called the Wonka Bar. And now we go into a different movie, and my god, what a great conspiracy theory that would be.
Yeah, what if it was just an autobiography?
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised you didn't hit me with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, or another one was Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, I figured those. I mean, let's face it. Let's call a spade a spade. You are a nerd, sir. Like, I don't know too many nerds that don't know of those two movies.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, are you kidding? I remember the Saturday morning cartoon for Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
And Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I didn't even think of that. That's a good point.
I had the toys.
Of course you did. And no matter what, you never became him. No matter how much you dreamed.
You know they're doing a remake of Toxic Avenger?
I did not know that, but it does not surprise me neither.
Yeah, the superhero genre is getting pretty big, so they're gonna try to cash in, I guess.
Okay. Let's tone down the funny a bit, at least for me. I want to get into some of these. There's this subreddit I found, and no, it's not the Simps subreddit again.
Damn it.
I'm sorry for anyone that had to endure that last week. You had to have seen it because me and Andy had to have seen it. So.
Yeah, I honestly think it gave me a new fetish.
Well, this one might do the same. This one is reddit.com/r/2-sentence-horror. To the word two, TWO. And basically what it is it is a horror story told in 2 sentences, and it is fascinating. I have just got so lost into this subreddit over the past week, just like kind of looking it over and going, man, I can't wait to share this with the podcast because this is really cool and people need to know about this. So, I'm going to read a couple of these and let's see what you think, alright?
Okay.
We'll start with one, set the tone for it a little bit, which I think is a very good one. It's titled Buried. A few hours after I was buried alive, I was thrilled when I heard someone digging me out. My joy quickly faded when I realized the sound was coming from under me.
Ugh. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's...
Drag me to hell. Um,
All right. Next one is doesn't have a title. It just says, "I won't let the monster get you. I promised my 6-year-old daughter. With the horrible images dancing through my mind, I put the noose around my neck and kept my promise."
ouch. Parent of the year right there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fucking chilling. Some of these things, man. Okay. Here's the next one. So this one has a title. This it kind of cheated, but I let it pass because it's really good. I think. Today is my wedding day, and it should be the happiest day of my life. Is the title.
Okay.
My parents say I'm doing the right thing, that he's a good provider, and he'll help our family. But as I stare out of the window, waiting for the ceremony to begin, I can't help wishing I was outside playing with the other children instead.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but the whole arranged marriage, like prearranged marriage.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fucked up. This one's pretty quick. My Fitbit logs are scaring me. Why does my heart stop every night at 3 a.m.? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. The plot thickens?
Yeah. Could be better, but, you know, I still liked it. I thought it was a bit modern, so I went with it.
Yeah, true.
This one is, my 2-year-old is always staring at me. I smile at him to make him laugh and wish the rest of my family could see me too.
Ghost Dad. Sorry.
It's alright. Alright, this one's for the special arachnophobics out there. My husband nodded silently to reassure me that he had killed the nest of spiders. I almost went in to thank him, but then I noticed a glint of light off the tiny thread suspending him like a marionette.
Ugh.
Yes.
Ugh.
And then, this one, Andy, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Before we started, I was speaking to Andy and his brother, and his brother, Rob, he's been on the podcast before. He mentioned something about a bit of a paranormal experience that Andy and him have experienced before as a kid. Both of them were kids. You said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were kind of just going up the stairs, and you both thought you heard footsteps from behind you, and it made you just bolt up the door quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like super chilling, but you know, definitely chilling for a kid. You know, and I'm going to preface this one with that because here is this one, and maybe this is what happened. It's childish, but when I leave the basement, I always run up the stairs while glancing behind me. Who knew this whole time I was looking in the wrong direction?
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. Next, we're gonna get into we're gonna get into two kind of sad ones, and then we're gonna go right back smack dab into horror. Okay.
I kind of want to try this.
You know, it made me think the same thing, and I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm certainly not going to reveal it because I've already deleted it and I don't remember it. But I tried doing one with Marco Polo.
Wow.
It did not work out. It did not work out at all. It was just, it needed way too much explaining, and I was just like, this is terrible, and I just deleted it. But anyway, I'm gonna get into a sad one here. At least for some, this could be pretty sad. My time is almost over, and my heart beats against my chest in panic. I wonder how the man I love can be so cruel, and I stare at him, pleading desperately and silently, begging for mercy. Good boy, he whispers calmly as the vet plunges the syringe. That one could be rough. That one could be rough for some people.
I see what you did there.
Oh, God. I did not do that, but God. Alright. Comedy relief.
Yeah, sorry. It's automatic for me.
Understandable. Okay. Another kind of depressing one. When deaf. Oh my God. Hi! I'm sorry. You can picture the person that can't hear, you know. Hey, hi guys. Deaf. Anyway, um,
Yeah.
sorry, kind of bringing down the mood here. Uh, when death came for me, I begged her not to take me. My newborn son needed me. Death laughed dryly, but dear mother, I'm not here for you.
Ah.
Yeah, that one to go with the stillborn ghost in your house. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. The miscarriage phantom.
yeah. To the woman who keeps pounding on my door at night, not letting you out. It's sad, but I can't help but laugh at that one. All
I
right, no more laugh.
know. Like.
No more laughing. Gotta get it all out.
Oh man.
Some of these ones, it's fucked up because we laugh at them. Anyway, um, okay, this one's pretty good. The boy played dangerously close to the edge of the boat, so I grabbed his arm and dragged him down into the depths with me.
Okay.
Dragged me the whole hell thing.
Yeah. Which was a great movie.
This one's great. I think this one might be my favorite. I don't know.
Okay.
Watching our daughter breastfeed is the most beautiful natural thing in the world. We just don't know what to do once she finishes eating the second one.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's like Rosemary's Baby. Ugh.
And then this one, actually, this is another one with a title. It's called Attention to Detail. Okay.
Okay.
It's safe to come out now, sweetie, Dad said reassuringly, his blue eyes shining at me through the gap in the bedroom door. He's been saying that for hours, but it doesn't change the fact that my dad's eyes are green.
Huh.
Yeah, an actual one that could definitely happen.
Yeah.
This one this one's a little meta. I'm gonna share it with you. I submitted a 2-sentence horror to Reddit, but the twist was a little predictable. I am enjoying reading it over your shoulder, though.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that one.
Nice.
And then a little comedy relief here. You hear your mother suddenly call you to come down immediately. You suddenly remember that you forgot to clear the history on your family computer.
Been there, done that. Too real. Too real.
Too real.
But I want to try one of these.
Like off the cuff right now?
Yeah, just like off the cuff.
Go for it.
I'm really glad I left that creepy clown on the side of the road. I just wish I knew how he found where I lived.
Just wish I knew how he found where I live.
No, just like, when you like see one of the guys on the side of the road, you're just like, oh, what the hell was that guy's problem? And then, all of a sudden he's at your house.
Mm.
Like, you didn't pick him up, but he still found you anyway.
Oh, I see. Sometimes I catch myself staring at those missing person flyers at the store. They always get those age progression pictures way wrong. Again, we laugh.
I can't help it, man.
I know,
like,
it's messed up, isn't it?
It's. I think I'm just too desensitized. I really am.
All right, one more. This one's kind of a twist on a similar concept of one we already read. I won't let the monsters get you, I promised my 6-year-old daughter. As the boarded up door began to give way, I put the gun to her forehead and kept my promise.
The Mist.
Sure.
Wait, never saw The Mist?
No, I've never seen The Mist.
You should.
Yeah, I've been told. All right. So we're gonna turn the page here a little bit. We came up with this idea to discuss some conspiracy theories that we wanted to talk about, and we are going to try to convince the other person that they are in fact real.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with one that I actually have an article pulled up with that has lots of facts of how it could very much be real, and you should believe it's real as well. Fluoride, I don't know if you noticed or not, but they put it in our drinking water.
That's
Uh,
what I've been told.
the reason they put it in our drinking water that they say is to help strengthen our bones. In actuality, it's actually weakening our minds. And this way, this is going to sound crazy, but let me just go into this. It's weakening our minds so that one day, mass mind control can be a possibility.
Okay.
Yes. There's a letter that I have in front of me that was received by the Lee Foundation for Nutritional Research in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was received on October 2nd in 1954 from Mr. Charles Perkins, who is a chemist. And I can go into it, but basically, you know, something saying about a far-reaching plan of mass control that was adopted by German general staff for the Nazis and Hitler and all that. You know, saying that repeated dose of infinitesimal amounts of fluoride will in time reduce an individual's power to resist domination by slowly poisoning and narcotizing a certain area of the brain, thus making him submissive to the will of those who wish to govern him. A convenient light lobotomy.
Hmm.
So it actually continues to say that the real reason behind water, adding fluoride to the water is not to benefit children's teeth. If this were the real reason, there are many ways in which it could be done that are much easier, cheaper, and far more effective. So why would they add fluoride to the water for that reason? The real purpose behind water fluoridation is to reduce the resistance of the masses to domination and control and loss of liberty.
Yeah, I actually the water that we get at work at my job, because it's quote unquote filtered, always has a chemically aftertaste to it, which I always just tell people that no, that's just the fluoride. That is the mandatory amount that you're supposed to have.
Yeah, it's the fluoride put in there to make it easier for you guys to control.
Yeah, not buying it though.
All right, how about this? Quoting Einstein's nephew, Dr. E.H. Bronner, a chemist who had also been a prisoner of war during World War II, in a letter printed in the Catholic Mirror, Springfield, Massachusetts, January 1952. It appears that the citizens of Massachusetts are among the next on the agenda of the water poisoners. There's a sinister network of submersive agents, godless intellectual parasites working in our country today whose ramifications grow more extensive, more successful, and more alarming each new year, and whose true objective is to demoralize, paralyze, and destroy our great republic from within if they can, according to their plan, for their own possession. The tragic success they have already attained in their long siege to destroy the moral fiber of American life is now one of their most potent footholds towards their own ultimate victory over us. And then he says the bombshell. Fluoridation of our community water systems can well become their most subtle weapon for our physical and mental deterioration. This is Einstein's nephew.
Which, honestly, the only reason anybody would even give any credence to him is because he has Einstein's name attached somewhere there. I mean, if you were to just give the guy's name without any kind of credibility whatsoever, you'd be like, all right, so who cares? Like,
but we
as soon
did
as you add in, oh, by the way, this is Einstein's nephew we're talking about. I don't care if it's his dog.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Here's the thing.
Hmm?
If you say it was Hitler's nephew, are you going to become friends with that guy?
I mean, not if he has a mustache.
Right. And why? Because Hitler wore it. So, because it's Einstein's nephew, why can't we go ahead and include his name? Maybe Hitler's nephew was named like John Smith or John Doe. No big deal. It's a very innocent, friendly, neutral name. But then, as soon as he introduces himself as, "Hi, I'm John Doe," Hitler's nephew. Yep, that Hitler, V1.
V1.
Old Ado himself. You're going to be like, oh, maybe I don't want to shake your hand, and just quickly jerk your hand back, and that's that, because you're immediately going to decide, I don't want to be friends with this guy. It's Hitler's nephew. Just like you're immediately just going to decide, yeah, I am going to give this guy some notification or some notoriety because he is in fact Einstein's nephew.
Oh, what else has he accomplished besides forewarning people of fluoride water?
Does he need to accomplish anything else?
Yeah, I need credibility here.
But again, I bring the point to you that you don't need credibility for Hitler's nephew to not be his friend. You can make him your mortal enemy without credibility, just based off of his lineage.
You don't know my mind.
I do, and it's because of the drinking water, Andy. I rest my case.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't feel very mind controlled, thank you very much.
That's how they get you.
That is how they get you. Now, I, on the other hand, have something that is incredibly true and believable.
Okay, let's hear it.
Alright, so you know those vaccinations that you get at a very young age in your life?
No.
Well, you got them.
I do know. That's not what I'm saying no to. Don't you dare. Go ahead.
Not for the same reason you're thinking of. So, no, the vaccinations that we get at a very young age, that they tell you up and down, oh, this is for measles, this is for mumps, this is for hepatitis A, this is for hepatitis B, this is for influenza. All that crap, that's not what that is. All all those quote unquote vaccinations is a way to destroy our body's natural immune system. And what do they replace it with? They replace it with an artificial quote unquote man-made defense system that is in our food preservatives, any of our processed stuff, even medication that we take over the counter is full of this crap that destroys our body's natural immunity and replaces it with an artificial one. We are being tailored to only survive in a man-made environment. As soon as we come across the trappings of human luxury, we do not know how to survive. Our bodies physically cannot handle the natural environment around us. This is to help us cope with the environment that we are poisoning with our pollution, the food that we are essentially creating from scratch. Like, sure, there's still meat and vegetables and stuff like that, but people can't survive on a diet specifically composed of that stuff because we are so conditioned to need the chemicals and additives and preservatives that if we change anything, our bodies become weak. Like when the seasons change, how many people say, "Oh, the seasons are changing. It's ruining my body. Oh, my allergies must be acting up because the plants are doing what they've done for thousands of years. Why is it now all of a sudden an issue?" It's the little things like that like people don't they just blame. Oh, it's something that happens naturally all the time. Like, no, it doesn't. I don't have a problem with a house pet having allergy issues when the seasons change. Yeah, they shed fur, which is a natural thing. It's not like their body is breaking down because of this. Our bodies do that, and it's mainly because that we have a reliance on community, and that's also capitalism at work there too, because we have to buy this man-made food. We have to buy these things that keep our house at a certain temperature, or filter our air, or filter our water. Like, we don't know how to survive in the outside world anymore, and that's conditioned at a very young age, and it starts with the vaccinations. It goes on with over-the-counter medication, quote-unquote headache pills. No, try subservient pills. Like, that's all that crap ever was, and that's all it will ever will be, and nobody's ever going to be the wiser.
You think subservient is the word of the day today?
It might be. Because nothing is actually scarier than not being of your own sound mind, because you don't know if you're of your own sound mind.
Fair. Quick question. You can't survive off of a diet of meat and vegetables?
Not exclusively.
And why is that?
Because at some point or another, like, your body is going to reject that crap. Like, it is not the chemicals that have been keeping you alive the entire time. Like, you may be able to get to that point, but you are going to have some hardships getting there.
So what is the other thing that is missing from the diet? What do you mean, like wheats, grains, beans, that whole thing?
Yeah, like, the food pyramid essentially does not exist because you cannot actually live like that.
You know, I only eat meat and very few vegetables.
Okay.
How do you describe that?
Okay. Do you take any kind of prescription or over-the-counter medication?
I guess I do. Yes, I take Nexium for heartburn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you partake in any kind of liquid chemical intake?
Define liquid chem. Yeah, fluoride from water.
No, no, no. Um, do you have anything that has been prepackaged and sold at a store?
Uh, Bottled water because I don't trust the drinking water.
Coffee, perhaps?
Coffee, yes, but yeah, I guess okay.
Any kind of fast food?
I avoid it.
Avoid it,
Mhm.
even on your cheat days.
I still try to avoid it. I'm not saying I have not had it, but I do in fact try to avoid it.
Mhm. Anything over the counter or prepackaged food that you intake is going to be subject to this.
I see.
Anything out of a can, anything out of a box, just add water? Suspicious. Because that's not how it happens in nature.
So what you're saying is, just so I make sure I got this clear and I understand all this information that you're spewing.
Yes.
Um, Vaccines do not vaccinate us from anything. They certainly don't give autism neither. Correct?
No, they certainly do not.
Okay. Uh,
Autism doesn't actually exist, but go on.
all right. Um, that was a bombshell I wasn't ready to receive. My wife's about to lose her job then. Um, so instead, they in fact replace something with our immune system with an artificial immune system. Is that what you said? Just
Yeah, our natural immune system is broken down and subsequently replaced with an artificial
with
one.
an artificial one that strives off of the need for the chemicals that they are putting into the prepackaged or over-the-counter food and or medications.
Yes. Plus, sterile environments. Like, we would need, less exposure to the outside world, the natural world. Like, we have to rely on man-made environments and
Which,
man-made food.
which is clearly why they invented the internet to make sure that we stayed inside.
The internet keeps us indoors. Central heating, air.
Oh,
All the stuff that would prevent us from having as much contact with the outside world as possible, just in our own environments.
Andy, I might have actually believed this one if I didn't know you to be such a slave to your own thoughts. And what I mean by that is you, at the very moment, have a can from an energy drink that right before the podcast you were suggesting I should try, and it's delicious, and this, that, and the third. Next to that, you have two empty cans of a drink called Surge, which you claim to be breakfast. Uh, just a couple weeks ago on the podcast, you said about how you took your air conditioning unit out because it was getting cold, and then you were upset that you took it out because it got ridiculously hot.
Yeah, I don't know how to survive in an environment that I can't control.
I'm not buying it, buddy. At least with me,
But
I don't drink water from a drinking fountain. You know what I mean? I drink bottled water that I think is fluoride free, which is Aquafina brand.
listen, I
Or
recognize.
let me tell you something else.
Hmm,
There's a reason they call it smart water, and it's not because it's fluoride free. It's because there's extra fluoride in it because they want people to drink that to feel smart, so that they can mind control them easier.
Now I'm saying that the idea that I still have stuff from the store that is full of these chemicals that's keeping me, from being able to be independent of a man-made environment. Um, I already know it's too late for me. Like, I've gotten my full dose of vaccinations. I am already hooked. There's nothing I can do about it. I am in the pit.
So, in the event that someone does not get vaccinations, are they then safe to consume this stuff?
Only if they have all natural things. But unfortunately, babies, when babies are born, they are run through the entire gambit that forces them into this lifestyle. They get the vaccinations. They are given the prepackaged baby food, which I don't know if you know this, doesn't grow on trees. Um,
No, I mean, you can certainly go with the concept of breastfeeding and no vaccine. There are natural people out there that are just like, no, I don't want vaccines. It causes problems. I don't want to give them Gerber. I'd rather feed them from my own boobs.
Breastfeeding doesn't work
Why does it not? Why not?
because the body makes it off of whatever it has exposure to. So if you
Well,
are
what if?
in fact,
Is there any way to avoid this? Is what I'm getting at.
it is extremely difficult. Like a
I see.
lot of this is just already it's pre-ingrained in society as a whole,
Gotcha.
especially in first world countries. Like if you were in a third world country where a lot of those luxuries don't exist, then yes, it's very possible. But unfortunately, in our kind of society, no, it's virtually impossible.
Okay. Do you have another one for me?
Yes.
Because I have one more for you, but I'm saving it until the end because, my God, I want to close out the segment with it. So if you have one more, you can do one more, then I'll do mine, and we'll move on.
Okay. So don't know if you realize this or not, but you know how there's been so many different ideas about some arguments over the theory of creationism versus the theory of evolution?
Yes.
All right, so I am not one of either camp. Um, I am a firm belief that we as humans were not natural to this planet.
All right.
That the seeds of humanity were sown here long ago, and we were not naturally from this planet.
Yeah, no, I heard you the first time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some elaboration there.
All right. So we keep trying to draw similarities between the closest ancestors, and we always keep lumping ourselves in with like the primates. Um, but there's no primates that even have anywhere near close the same kind of structure that we do. You can always look at them and be like, all right, so they're mammals, yes, and nothing else on the planet even comes close to our intelligence, our sophistication, our our appearance. Um, it's we seem very disconnected from the rest of nature. And if there's anything else that we studied from nature, uh, from our researching, like not only zoology but geology and everything like that, everything kind of has a natural order that humanity just doesn't fit in. Um, I mean, for goodness sake, we were saying that before we even came around, uh, that the dominant life form on this planet was a giant reptile. Like it seems that like that is not the natural order of things to go into. Like predators are the natural top end of the environment. We are not predators for sheer physical ability. We are predators for a mental ability, and that's not something that is actually happens in nature. The smart animals are not the top of the food chain in any kind of ecological system. It is usually the predator, the apex predator that is. So people can always argue like where we came from or how we got here, but it is my firm belief that no matter how it happened, we did not form here naturally. We did not start from the ground up on this planet.
Well, I have one thing. You said that the concept of us evolving from gorillas, monkeys, all that stuff is far fetched because of the sophistication that they're lacking. Was that one of the examples you gave?
You could say it that way, yeah.
The grace, the elegance, the intelligence, the overall likeness of said beings.
Mannerisms,
Mannerism.
structure, yeah, yeah.
I present to the jury Harambe. Sweet noble Prince Harambe was the most elegant, the most just sheer, brilliant, wonderful, majestic creature that if any human was so lucky to evolve from something of that nature, they would clearly be of royal. Because, my God, how do you get better?
um, honest, honestly and legitimately, I'm not even joking. I am 100% surprised that there isn't a church devoted to Harambe.
Yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
And I think that's all we have to talk about with that one. You can say what you want, but my response to you, sir, is Harambe. Now, I am going to have to warn you to make a nice gaping hole somewhere in your head. Yes, he's yawning now. That's a good place for it. Because you're about to have your mind completely fucked. This, as you may or may not have heard of before, is something called Gloomy Sunday. Now, what is Gloomy Sunday? Well, it is a Hungarian song that will legitimately make you kill yourself.
Okay.
It's a suicidal song. It's a song so sad that it actually brings you to suicide. And the composer himself actually committed suicide, killed himself.
Huh.
Composer, I believe it's pronounced Reso Sores. It's from, like I said, Hungarian origins and roots. And Hungary does experience a, pretty high suicide rate. I mean,
Yeah, because they're starving.
look, you can believe what you want. What they're starving for is happiness.
I mean, they're in a country called Hungary. Of course they're going to be starving.
For happiness. Nothing
Sad.
else.
Sad people.
They are. And I mean, look, here's the thing. I propose to you, Andy, and to all the fine listeners out there, if you dare, wait around until after we end this episode, and Gloomy Sunday, the Hungarian suicide song, will be playing after the episode.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Some might consider us a risk to public health after this episode, Andy.
I welcome the challenge.
Hey, click play if you dare. Anyway, that was the Halloween episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know I certainly did.
Ooh.
But without further ado, that was awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. I can't wait to do more holiday themed episodes.
Oh yeah,
but
just wait till
unfortunately,
Christmas.
yeah, let's wait till Christmas. It's going to be pretty much the same for me. More stories about Krampus and Black Pete and all of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's something to come up with. You know what? We'll talk about it off mic. But I think it's time to start working on Christmas episode. Anyway, we do have to come up with the title for this episode. And since Nightmare Before Christmas is already taken,
agreed. For some reason, I keep thinking zombies ate my nipples, but
we can make it like a weird anagram that we come up with real quick. This is going to be so stupid, but just know
what, for
that
nipples?
No, not for nipples.
Oh.
What I'm suggesting here is that we just call it a word that is completely made up.
Okay.
And no one's going to know what it means. Kind of like Not Titled Simps, until they hear the podcast and go, that was kind of clever. The word is Zolt, Z-O-L-T.
Okay.
It stands for Zombies Only Live Twice.
Uh-huh.
It's weak, but what do you got?
There's always, conspiracy theory.
Oh, we could build up a hype for a conspiracy theory that we're talking about that's not really talked about.
What's up?
We can call the episode, Is Avril Lavigne Really Dead?
Is Avril Lavigne really dead?
Do you know of this one?
No, I don't.
This is legit a conspiracy theory. I'll discuss this real quick with you.
Okay.
There is a group of people that strongly believe Avril Lavigne committed suicide. What actually happened was that she made her first CD, with Skater Boy and Complicated, all the popular songs, very poppy and upbeat and everything. Then her second CD came out, and it was just dark. Like, she had a much darker tone in her music all of a sudden. Like, I forget the one song, but the lyrics was, "It's a damn cold night." I can't remember. But anyway, much darker tones in the second album. And then after the second album, long hiatus, and then third album comes out, and it's nothing like anything that she's made before. Extremely poppy and bright and colorful.
Okay.
And people were suggesting that she's extremely depressed in her second album, and the CD itself was an actual, like, almost a suicide note. And after that album, she committed suicide, and the record companies were like, "This is too much of a gold mine. We can't give this up. Here's a doppelganger that sounds just like her, and we're going to just portray her as Avril Lavigne, give her a different image so no one will be the wiser, and go from there."
Uh-huh.
We'll have her marry someone that no one cares about. Where's that Nickelback fella at?
Look at this photograph. No, don't make me.
What do you think he's talking about in there?
Ah, I like your pants around your feet. Oh, that fucking guy. Yeah, I want my nickels back.
I think we just
Thank God for free music.
I think we just found a title to our episode. I want my nickels back.
I want my nickels back.
I like it. I
actually kind of like it too.
And you know what? If nothing else, it's a double meaning because this very well may be the last Halloween episode that we do for free. Boom. Maybe next year we might charge a nickel for it.
Only if I get 20% of the profits.
Okay. You know what? All right.
Well, twist my arm, why don't you?
Yeah, so that is this very special week, or this week's edition of the very special episode of Side Splitters titled "I Want My Nickels Back." I'm Lyle.
And I'm Andy.
Happy Halloween, everyone. See you next week. And without further ado, don't say we didn't warn you. Here it is, the Suicide Song.